Hello and welcome to another episode of Demystifying Hindu philosophy, mythology, and rituals. Today, I would like to talk about the Varaha Avatara of Vishnu, Lord Vishnu, in a little bit more detail. We have discussed this in another episode, but as promised, we're going to go deeper and deeper into it because all our stories from the Upanishads and Puranas, the Vedic seers and rishis have given a huge density of information, and it's up to us how far we are willing to demystify and decode these vital clues. So let's talk about the Varaha Avatara and how it came about and why it came about and what we can learn from this. So when Swayambhuva, one of the sons of Lord Brahma, was busy with the creation he noticed that the earth had sunk into the ocean, into the depths of the ocean by an asura called Hiranyaksha. So he goes to his creator, his father, Lord Brahma, and asks for his help, saying that how will I create when earth is not here? So Lord Brahma realized that this was a job beyond his ability, and he sat down in meditation, invoking the grace of Lord Vishnu. And while he was meditating, a small little tiny little boar popped out of his nostril and very quickly started to grow. This little thumb size or even smaller than that wild boar started to grow twice its size, 4 times its size, and until it became a huge wild boar, a varaha. And it jumped into the middle of the ocean, went to the bottom and picked up earth and was bringing it up to the surface of the ocean when he was attacked by an asura called Hiranyaksha. And so the battle lasted for a long time, and the Varaha avatar, Lord Vishnu as the Varaha, defeated and destroyed Hiranyaksha and brought the earth back onto the where it's supposed to be. So we have to now look at the symbolic or the allegorical significance of this story. And when we try to sort of peel it layer by layer, let's look at each of the detail that was given. First of all, when we need these asuras, as we have discussed in another previous video, they represent our, the tendencies. We have 3 tendencies. Everything in this universe has 3 tendencies: the tamasic tendency, the rajasic tendency, and the sattvic tendencies. So these are called gunas, and the tamasic tamo guna is represented by inertia, lethargy, indolence, this lack of desire to do anything, just enjoy life. And then the rajasic tendency is represented as a lot of activity, but egocentric activity. And then we have the sattvic guna, sattva guna, which is represented by wisdom, serenity, equanimity. And these asuras, as we discussed in another video, when the Manas Putras or sons, Brahma's sons born from his mental faculties, had gone visiting Vishnu in Vaikuntha, they were stopped by the gatekeepers called Jaya and Vijay. And then these sages had cursed those gatekeepers to be born on the Bhuloka in 3 successive lifetimes as a couple of asuras. And the first birth of these Jaya Vijaya asuras was Hiranyaksha and his brother Hiranyakashipu. So in the Varaha Avatara, Hiranyaksha was the one who had taken the earth and sunk it into the ocean and was preventing the Varaha Avatara, Vishnu in the Varaha Avatara, from bringing it up. Now we have to look at this Hiranyaksha as our Tamoguna. And then his brother Hiranyakashipu, in another video we'll talk about him and the avatar that was taken to deal with that. Hiranyakashipu represents our Rajoguna, the egocentric activity, whereas Hiranyaksha represents our Tamoguna, which is indolence. And that is why this the asura, this tamasic tendency, tamoguna, is to take sink everything into your subconscious and not work on it. Just live unconsciously, live without awareness. So how can we deal with this kind of situation? If you want to progress in life, if you want to grow emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, one step at a time, the first thing we have to do is sit down in meditation. Brahma had to sit down in meditation and invoke the grace of the supreme energy or supreme consciousness. And then what happened? The little boar popped out of Brahma's nose. Now that goes to prove that the ability to deal with our problems, with our unawareness, ignorance, and generally it is called avidya or avarana, which is covering of ignorance. We have the power to deal with that, and that is why it came out of Brahma's nose. And then why it came out of Brahma's nostril? It could have come out from any other sense organ, but nostrils points the clue towards breath control. When you sit in meditation and you bring your breath awareness, you are in a state where you can dive deep into your subconscious and then bring up all these vasanas that the tamoguna has suppressed inside. Vasanas are impressions from our various lifetimes, call it karmic imprint, that we are born to work on in this lifetime, and we can choose to let it sink in our subconscious and do nothing about it and allow the Hiranyaksha within us to keep it there. Or we can employ the clues that are given by the Varaha Avatara to bring it up. We have to first of all invoke the Kurma Avatara, which is a tortoise, and just like a tortoise we have to withdraw our awareness from the external world of sensual pleasures and go within, and then we have to adopt the clues given in the Varaha Avatara, which is not just withdraw your awareness from the external world, but dive deep into your subconscious and bring up all these vasanas that you need to work on. And here it is noteworthy that the avatara was boar, wild boar. The sages could have chosen any wild animal, but why a boar? Because the wild boar or the boar has a snout. And how do they use their snout? They use the snout to dig into the dirt and forage for food. In that dirt, they can sniff their way around and take out the things that are necessary for them to eat. Likewise, we have to dive into our subconscious and forage through all those subconscious thoughts and beliefs and feelings and emotions, and pick up those rajasic qualities that we have, or these tamasic qualities that are suppressed in our subconscious, and bring it up. Only when we bring it to our conscious awareness, then we can work on them. And that work will be done in the next avatara, which is the Narasimha avatara, to deal with the rajasic tendencies that is represented by Hiranyakashipu. This is the brother of Hiranyaksha. So Hiranyaksha represents our tamasic qualities, our tamoguna, which is to remain in darkness, in ignorance, in lethargy and inertia. So we have to, like a Varaha, we have to dive into our subconscious, bring up all these vasanas, these past impressions, karmic imprints to work on. And then that is how we fight our inertia, our tamoguna. And then in the next avatara, we will see how to use, employ the lessons given by Narasimha Avatara to fight our rajasic tendencies, egocentric activities. And here it is important that we have to sit in meditation. Then we have to not just understand that the power to deal with our problems comes from within us, and it starts out, this power seems very small at first, but very quickly, if we continue and commit to a regular practice of meditation and breath control, it grows and grows. And then with that power, we have to dive deep into our subconscious, bring up all these tendencies and karmic imprints that we need to work on in this lifetime. And then once it comes up to our conscious level, there's other sets of steps that our sages have told us, which we will discuss when we talk about Hiranyakashipu and our rajasic tendencies. But the Varaha Avatara was to tell us what we can do and what we should do step by step to deal with our tamasic tendencies, how to overcome our tamasic tendencies. So I hope that you are enjoying and learning a few things. First we discussed very briefly a bird's eye view of the Dasavataras, and then we are taking little time to deeply understand each avatara. And in this avatara we realize that the Kurma avatara is like the tortoise, where we withdraw our senses from the outside world. Then we proceed to the, move up or grow spiritually to the Varaha Avatara, where we are able, through our meditation and breath control, to dive into our subconscious, into our, to connect inside and bring up all those karmic imprints, the vasanas, the past tendencies that we need to work on to be able to grow spiritually, bring it to our conscious attention and awareness. And then in the next video, we'll talk about the Hiranyakashipu and the Narasimha Avatara, that is how to fight our rajasic tendencies. Because ultimately our goal is to go towards Sattva Guna, which is equanimity, serenity, wisdom. This is all I would like to talk today. And if you have any questions, please write them in the comment box. And if you would like me to talk about anything else, I would I'd encourage and welcome positive feedback. And stay well. And if you have not already subscribed to my channel, please do so. That would really inspire and encourage me to create more such videos. Thank you, and stay well.